Here's the speech that I wanted to give to the board, that they wouldn't let me give to the board because I wanted to record it. It's to the Wakatipu High School, dated the 17th of February 2025. Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. Thank you too for your service and your support for the school. I very much appreciate it. I want to share my experience as a parent of the school's relationship and sexuality education curriculum, or what is known as RSE. I'm here because RSE is a board responsibility. The Education and Training Act 2020 requires the board every 2 years to adopt a statement on the content and delivery of the health curriculum. In doing so, the board must inform the school community, that is to say parents, of the content of the health curriculum and, quote, ascertain the wishes of the school community regarding the way in which the health curriculum should be implemented given the views, beliefs and customs of the members of that community. That is to say, if I were in the board, in front of the board, I'd be in the right place talking to the right people. The board is directly and solely responsible for what I'm here today to discuss. Last year, my 13-year-old daughter was a year 9 student at Wakatipu High School. The school's head of health and physical education, Cara Sibston, emailed my wife explaining the upcoming course. The email itself was misleading, and I quote, this term, as part of the compulsory health education in New Zealand schools, our year 9 students will be participating in a unit of work focused on relationship and sexuality education. The email is misleading because Section 51 of the Act specifically makes RSE optional. The health curriculum itself is compulsory, RSE is not. In order to agree to the course, I needed to see it. So I replied to Cara asking for the material to be taught. Cara replied, quote, the resources we use for this unit are intellectual property, and the Navigating the Journey resource is a purchased resource and we cannot share this due to copyright. My concern became informed consent. I could not see the material that I was to okay for my 13-year-old daughter. The failure to disclose is in direct opposition to the board's obligation under Section 91 of the Act. I bought Navigating the Journey for Year 9 students. Remember, Year 9 students aged 13, 14. Here's what I discovered. Marriage is mentioned but once, and only to explain that sexual assault occurs within marriage. Marriage and family don't feature. Abstinence is not recommended. Sex is a 13-year-old's choice. The age of consent is mentioned, but the course explains that children under 16 may still want to have sex, in which case, quote, it is important that both people give consent and that contraceptives are used carefully. The course explains over and over to 13-year-olds how to give and gain consent when legally they can do neither. 13-year-olds and consent is a legal impossibility. The course has pairs of pupils putting condoms on wooden penises. Remember, this is girls at 13 with boys in the class. The course has students in groups connecting cards saying vaginal sex, anal sex, and oral sex with their meanings. These exercises are designed to stimulate class discussion. The cards are graphic. The matching card for oral sex is, quote, one person's mouth touching another person's genitals. That is, penis, testicles, vulva, clitoris, or anus. 13-year-olds are also given an exercise to stimulate class discussion about these 13-year-olds are given an exercise to stimulate class discussion about oral and anal sex. It's unbelievable. There are also scenarios to discuss. For example, a young woman gets drunk at a party. Oh, she's flirting with and kissing an older woman. After dancing with her, she passes out in the bedroom. The older woman has sex with her. There's nothing to discuss about this in a class. There's only a statement to make. What's described as a crime for which the punishment is 20 years. The curriculum states, the main reason people take part in sexual activity is for pleasure. Pleasure, consent and protection are the key messages the curriculum provides. The curriculum explains that masturbation is a good way to learn about what gives one pleasure, with the pupil's bedroom being a good place to experiment. Oh, and sex toys. They're good too, but be careful. The curriculum warns they can spread disease when shared with friends and with lovers. The curriculum recommends videos for the class to watch. Here are snippets from the videos. So there are a bunch of sexual orientations that sit on the spectrum, and it is just important to go with what works for you. If your sexuality is outside the norm, that is awesome. When it comes to having sex for the first time, it is all up to you. You can do vagina to penis, or hands to vagina, or hands to vulva, or mouth to vulva, or vulva to vulva, or hands to penis. You could do mouth to penis, or penis to anus. Lube is especially important to use during anal sex because anuses don't self-lubricate. STIs are a common part of sexual activity and nothing to be ashamed about. Best thing to do is to get checked, often. It's just like checking your hard drive for viruses. Quote, if you're performing oral sex on a vulva, you can always use a dental dam to protect both you and your partner from STIs. And if you don't have a dental dam at home, you can always make one from a condom and some scissors. Now, we're not saying all porn is bad, and if you want to watch it, it is totally up to you. Ethical porn is a genre that makes sure everyone is enjoying themselves, whatever their sexual orientation. People are not doing things to each other, but with each other. Oh, there's queer porn that is actually made by queer people for queer people. There's loads of different types of porn out there. Now, to be fair, the principal, Mr. Nathan, did email me last year to say that the PE teacher, Mr. King, would not be showing the video that would tell my daughter to lube and protect herself should she submit to anal sex. That was good, but little comfort. Indeed, that very omission reinforces that the curriculum is not fit for purpose. This board, I'd like to say this board here, says teach anal sex. Your teacher says no. The Minister of Education, Erica Stanford, has also said no. She has declared the RSE guidelines not, quote, fit for purpose. They are to be withdrawn at the end of this term. Now, you might think I've cherry-picked the worst of the curriculum. I have not. What I've presented to you is representative of the 196-page Navigating the Journey for Year 9s. I would like to have invited the board to read it. And then I was going to say to the board 4 quick points to conclude. 1, the curriculum material the board has approved is highly inappropriate both for the school and for minors. 2, there is no informed consent. Parents do not know what is taught and can't readily find out. That's in direct opposition to Section 51 of the Act. The board consultation that they held hurriedly last year was meaningless. Parents have no clue of the content and can't get the content should they ask for it. That's in direct opposition to Section 91 of the Act. The present curriculum is inappropriate and dangerous. There are plenty of wholesome and truthful curricula to choose from. I was then wanting to say to the board, thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. But I wanted to record this in front of the board to memorialise it and make it available for all parents. Why? Because parents are entitled to know what is being taught to their children as a moral obligation, but also under the statute. And the board has a duty to consult with us. But no, if I was to record this, I was not to give the presentation. And so I didn't. Because I would like every parent to see what is being taught to their children at not just Wakatipu High School, but most of our schools in New Zealand, and for them to make their decision whether they agree with that. Thank you very much for watching.